Hi guys, today we will learn about the nature of electricity and introduction to electricity and circuits. This is for the Science 9 Term 1 topic. Have you ever wondered why your phone charges, why your lights turn on with just one switch, or how electricity travels through wires? Electricity is something we use every single day. Yet, many people don't know how it actually works. In today's lesson, we're going to discover what electricity is, how it flows, what makes a circuit work, and why some materials conduct electricity while others don't. Let's get started. So let your students observe the picture and analyze it. A dark classroom, a refrigerator, a traffic light, a dead cell phone, and of course, a hospital. Imagine waking up tomorrow and suddenly there's no electricity. The lights won't turn on. Your battery is dead. Hospitals lose power. Traffic lights stop working. Even your refrigerator can't keep your food cold. Think about it. So, students will answer the following guide questions. Let them think for a few seconds and let some of the students answer it. First guide question: what would happen if electricity suddenly disappeared? Which activity would be affected first? Can we live without electricity? Electricity has become one of the most important parts of modern life. We will emphasize that one. So, after that, let's share our main objectives for today's lesson. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to first define electricity, describe how electricity flows in a circuit, identify the parts of a simple electric circuits, and tell the difference between conductors and insulators. Let's begin by understanding what electricity really is. Before we define electricity, look around this classroom. Where do you see electricity being used? Maybe recharging your phone, watching a television, using an electric fan, working on a laptop, or even walking under the streetlights at night, and many more. Because electricity is everywhere, even if we cannot actually see it. So, what is an electricity? Electricity is the flow of electrons through a circuit. Now, you might be asking, what are electrons? So, electrons are tiny particles found inside atoms. And take note, they carry a negative charge. When these electrons begin moving through a wire, they create electric current. No moving electrons means no electricity. What is electric current? Electric current is simply the movement of electrons through a conductor like a copper wire. Here's some interesting, here's something interesting. Scientists describes the movement of electrons from the negative side toward the positive side. However, by convention, we say electric current flows from positive side or positive terminal to the negative terminal. Don't worry, If that sounds confusing, just remember electrons move one way, while conventional current is described in the opposite direction. So, how electricity works? For electricity to flow, it needs a complete path. This complete path is called a closed circuit. Imagine electricity leaving the battery, traveling to the wires, lighting the bulb, and finally returning to the battery. That's how a closed circuit works. But what happens if the wire is broken or if the switch is turned off? Now the path is incomplete. There's a gap. This is what we call an open circuit. Since the path is broken, of course, electricity cannot flow and the bulb stays off. So let's compare closed circuit and open circuit. So again, closed circuits, it's a complete path. Since it's a complete path, electricity flows, and as a result, bulbs lights up. For the open circuit, broken part path rather, electricity cannot flow, and as a result, bulb stays off. Why does flipping light switch turn the lights on and off? It's actually very simple. When the switch is on, the circuit closes, allowing electricity to flow. And as a result, lights will turn on. When the switch is off, the circuit opens, stopping the flow of electricity so the light goes out. Just like a water hose. Think of electricity like water flowing through a garden hose. If the hose is complete, water flows smoothly from one end to the other. But if the hose has a hole or someone disconnects it, the water can't reach the end. Electricity behaves in exactly the same way. It needs a complete path before it can flow. So ask your students, which of these circuits would work? A, B, or C? Actually, in my case, most of my students choose C, but actually all of them get the correct answer because none of them works. Because in picture A plastic comb is not a conductor of electricity. As a result, electricity will not flow. Second picture, we have a plastic toothbrush is not a conductor of electricity. And of course, the other one is a power source. Power source is missing. For letter C, they might thinking a metal screw. And metal screw is a conductor of electricity, but if you can observe, the power source is missing. So none of them or none of the circuit will work. Always take note, only the circuit with a complete path allows electricity to flow. From the source, from the power source, which is the battery, it will flow through the wires. And once the electricity will flow through the wires, then it will light up the bulb. And it will go back to the battery source. And it will repeat the cycle. So this time, let's compare conductors versus insulators. So if say conductors, these are materials that allow electricity to pass through. And that's what we call conductors. Some of the example we have copper, silver, and other metals. Materials that resist electricity is called insulators. Some of the examples are rubber, plastics, wood, and glass, and many more. That's why if you can observe, electrical wires are made of metal on the inside but covered with rubber or plastic on the outside. Because metal carries electricity, while the plastic protects us from electric shock. Okay, At this point, you ask your student if they have any questions or clarification. If there's none, then you let them watch the short video. Actually, it's just around 3 to 5 minutes. And after that, quiz time. So actually, this is just a 10 multiple choice questions. So it's very easy and very fast. So these are the following questions. Actually, in my case, I let my students answer all the questions first, and after that, we will answer it all together, and we will check if they get the correct answer. Okay, and there we go. So we will end this lesson by this simple learnings today. Electricity powers almost everything around us, and understanding how it works help us use it more safely and widely. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell so you won't miss our next science lesson. Thank you for watching.